have a bit of a bag problem. I tend to buy a lot of bags and cases, and this comes from being a camera guy. I'm always looking for new bags and cases, a better way to carry my gear. As I've shot matches, that's started to creep back in. So now shooting more matches and traveling more, I'm always looking for a more efficient way to carry my gear. How can I make it lighter? How can I carry less gear? How can I do this in a way that makes more sense? So as I've been exploring new bags and testing out different things and trying to figure out a better way to carry my stuff, I have 3 big gripes about most gear bags or range bags in the industry. And one is that they don't carry tripods well. Anytime you put a tripod in them, it kind of flops around, and the ones that do carry tripods well are really big and bulky bags, and they're a little bit too much for what we need. If you're, backcountry hunting, yeah, that makes sense. But for, just going to the range or getting into scope carbine and you're just carrying a tripod for a spotting scope or whatever, it's a bit overkill. So wasn't crazy about that. And then the other big issue I see, and these two are tied together, is 1, accessing gear, and then 2, how the gear is organized. So when you open up a bag, typically they're all kind of the same rucksack style of bag. There's nothing new about them. The only one that's a little bit different is gonna be the Upranger from Everlystock, which is a good design, but it's a little bit like just a big box, it's a little bit cumbersome. And I still like to use a backpack as like a body pillow for like positional stuff. And again, I'm thinking ahead towards NRL Hunter and some PRS stuff. But anyways, the big issue is like organizing gear inside. So when you go to grab something out of the bottom of the bag, right? Like you gotta rip it open, you got all your stuff in there, and you grab the thing out of the bottom, and you close it back up, well, all the stuff shifts back down. So to put that thing you took out back in there, you gotta take everything back out and repack it all nice and neat, and then zip it back up. And so anytime you're trying to get things out of there, it doesn't sit well. So I was sitting one day because my dad's moving in and cleaning out a room, and I remembered that I had a bag, and I was like, this bag might be the perfect range bag. Enter in this monstrosity. So this is actually a camera bag. It's not a new bag, it's been around for a while. It's a Mind Shift. They make bags for camera people who go hiking or like bird watching or whatever. But the great thing about camera bags is 1, they're designed to carry tripods. 2, they organize your gear really, really well. And 3, they're designed to carry a lot of weight because camera gear is heavy, especially glass. Cameras aren't that heavy, it's the lenses. They weigh a ton. So if you're carrying 4 or 5 lenses, especially like some telephoto lenses, it adds a ton of weight. So they're really comfortable to carry. So I was like, let's see if this works for my needs. And this is actually the bag I've been using for the past few weeks, going to the range, going to competition, and I'm actually getting ready to go to another match. So I was like, let me do a quick breakdown of what the bag looks like and how I use it, and then give you guys some input on future bags. In the front, one of the things that I like about this bag or camera bags is they have a back opening, so the front is flat. So when you take the bag off, you just lay it flat, and then you can access everything inside of here. So I like this better versus the other way, because if you're in the rain or the mud and you throw this part down to get all the stuff out of the front, because that's how most bags open, then this is all muddy and then you're just making things worse, right? So this at least stays dry. So what I have on the shoulder strap is my game changer. So that way when we're walking around, I just clip it on there, and then I can just undo it really quickly when we get to a stage, set up or whatever. Let me show you the side really quick. Ear Pro, obviously just hanging on the tripod. And like I mentioned, these bags are actually designed to hold tripods. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. The way that most of us do it is you just use one of the bottle holders, and then they have built-in straps specifically for this. Now this, on some other bags, there will be a strap that you can cinch down, but that also cinches the entire bag down. This strap is solely for holding the tripod in place. So I keep my really right stuff in there, and then I keep a little wind vane on there, just some tape and a little hook thing to tie it on there. Once you do that, oh, and then Kestrel shot timer on the side. Always carry a shot timer with you, because sometimes you go to a match and they forget shot timers, and you might need one. It'll save you in the long run. Anyways, so you open up the inside, and this is what I love, how organized everything is in here. So the great thing about this is I can grab what I need out of here, and everything else stays in place. So if I need to grab something out of the bottom, all this doesn't shift down and I'm not digging through and stuff like that. So just each thing stays organized. So I'll show you what I got in here. So on this side, this is just it's a little weather cover. So it's a rain bag that goes over the bag. This is my battery case from Theorem. And then this is my little medical pouch. So I can open this and then whatever we need. Just a quick little IFAK to keep there. So that way, if we're on range, I can just pop this open and grab it really quickly, or take it out, throw it on a belt or a bag or whatever. Eyeglass cleaner and lens cleaner. So I use this. It's got a little, you can go to, so you can get one of these at Oakley, and they have these little spray bottles in them with lens cleaner. Works really well on your scopes and optics, and then keep a microfiber cloth in there. So Oakley will refill those for you. So you can just go grab one of these little pouches and then keep it with you so that way you keep your lenses clean at all times. And then here I keep mags and ammo. So I've got more ammo I got to put in here. I got to load mags, and then they all just kind of stay jammed in there. Vinyl it here. And then a little notebook. This is just a field notes notebook from, and then a little cover from Odin. Garmin. So Garmin for collecting velocity. So again, super small, good form factor. I did a whole video on this, so you can go check that out up here. Knee pads. So I carry, so my mantle pants, the new versions are coming out. I've got some on order, so when I get those, maybe I'll do a video if you guys are interested. But in the meantime, while I wait on them, I'm using some knee pads. I got an REI, keep a sling in here. And then on this side is my toolkit. Again, if you missed the video on what I keep in here, I'll link it up here. You can go watch that. And then we have rags to clean in the hotel or the back of the truck, lube and cleaning solution, extra BCG, and then oven mitt. So all that stays in there. And so this is all organized by these little like foam dividers. So this is just a camera bag divider. That's all this is. But because it was designed for camera gear, it's padded and it keeps everything protected. As you can see, if I take all those things out, when I go to pick the bag up, this isn't all gonna fall down. It all stays where it is, stays organized, nice and neat. I like that, helps my OCD. Up here, this is again designed for camera stuff. So I've just got in this top portion, my little quick access for optics. So if we need to adjust zero or reset turrets, we can do that. And then this is just stickers. I just keep stickers in there. So if I see you guys out at a match, I can hand you some. Now, on the other side, so in the front, ideally, I wouldn't really use this. I wouldn't have pockets here in my ideal situation, but they do have pockets here, so I'll show you what I keep inside. It's a very slim pocket, so in here is just, what I put in there is just the stuff I access when I get to the range, as soon as I get to the range. So Kestrel usually stays in my pocket, and then we have a chamber flag, extra Sharpies, extra dry erase, extra set of ear pro, mag carrier, and then down in this little sleeve back here, microfiber cloth, and then my sun and shadow, my armband for my data. So keep all that in there. And I have that there because then I can just set the bag, because the bag stands up by itself. So I just set it up, grab what I need out of there, and then I zip this up and I pretty much don't open that pocket for the rest of the match or the rest of my time on range. And then in this very front little pocket, now you can throw like a rain jacket in here or snacks or whatever, like some gummies. But I keep a bag in there. I hardly ever use this bag. I don't even think I've ever used this bag in a match. I just keep it because there's always going to be that like one stage that you run, and it's like you may hit this type of stage 1 out of 30 stages, but it's a bunch of ports, or like doing Joe's ladder drill, and it just makes it easier, makes it faster to not have to grab the bag. So I keep that in there, and then I keep the mub in there for my tripod. So I don't keep this on the tripod because when it's on top, it's like if you're moving around, it hits you in the head and kind of hurts. So mub stays in there. I don't always use it at matches, so it can live in there and I'm not worried about it, but that's what I keep in the bag. Now, I did design a bag. I drew it up, got dimensions on it, my ideal bag for, you know, doing NRL Hunter and PRS and shooting gas gun. And I sent it over to some buddies at a backpack company, and they were like, hey, you know, we've thought about doing something similar to this. If we were to start on it today, it wouldn't even be ready until 2026. So I was like, okay, maybe that's something that comes out down the road. That'd be really cool. I think there is market demand for it, especially with the increase in popularity of gas gun. And I think more people are gonna be interested in NRL this year. But anyways, that will be something great down the road, but it doesn't help me right now. I always tell people, like, in the gun industry, we tend to only look for the answers to our problems inside the industry. And that's because we view certain people in the industry as subject matter experts because they did a job or whatever. And it's like, that's cool, they do have knowledge, but sometimes the solution to the problem you have is outside of your industry. So I always tell people, like, if you're really looking for super light, like survival bags and like what it's like to actually live out of a bag for weeks at a time or months, look at people who do the Tour Divide, because they ride a bike and they only live off of what they have with them. Occasionally they pick up stuff as they go through towns, but they're literally living off of what they can carry on their bicycle from Canada to Mexico. So this is one of those instances where, like, I had a problem, and by kind of stepping back and looking outside of the gun industry and looking at a different industry, they had a solution to the problem I was having, and it's a better solution. So sometimes the solution we're looking for is not necessarily in our industry. So be creative if you're having things that you're looking for, things you need. be creative, and try to solve those problems. That is my range bag. That is my camera range bag backpack. I don't know what you want to call it. Either way, it works great for me. If you're interested in it, I'll leave a link down below. But for you, check out your local camera store and see if maybe one of the bags there better suits your needs than the bag you're currently using if you have the same problem. I don't know what else to say. Anyways, hopefully that gave you guys some creative ideas to set up your own bags. Hopefully it helped you in some way. Hopefully you just found it entertaining. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, karate chop that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, that's the one I needed at the beginning. We can do this because I forgot to charge batteries, so. Okay, cool. Wolvyn watches. All right, feeling good. Let's try this again.